We counted rocks in problems of the past. Rocks, however, are not vectors. Rocks are just counted with single numbers, and they're called scalar. Vectors can have more than one component, and position, for example, can have up to 3 different components in 3 different dimensions, x, y, and even z. So this time we're going to look at a quantity which in physics actually is a vector. And we're going to want to represent vectors with arrows. So what's this problem all about? Jill and her dog live at the house on the left. Jill's dog ran away though, and it's now located in the position shown. Jill starts out 4 meters to the right of her door. She's going to walk to where the dog is located 10 meters to the right of her door. But at what position should we put the 0 of the coordinate system? Should it be that the 0 is placed at the doorway of the house? Or should 0 be placed at Jill's current position? Should it be at the dog's position, or perhaps the neighbor's house? Or maybe it doesn't matter and the placement of the 0 is up to the problem solver. Which one do you think is correct? The correct choice is actually the last one. There are no zeros on the ground in front of us, or anywhere for that matter. So we are the ones imposing the coordinate system on the situation, and we get to decide where the 0 of the axis should be. Let's put the 0 at the doorway of the house, though. An object's position is its location relative to the 0 of an axis, and x is the variable commonly used in physics to represent positions. There can be others, though, such as y and z. Now we want the tail of an initial position vector to be located at the 0 of the coordinate system. The head or arrow of the initial position vector will point to where the object is located initially. Let's go ahead and draw that initial position vector for Jill. It has to start at the 0 of the coordinate system, and then it has to point to where she's located now initially. Now we're going to give symbols to this, and instead of just labeling it as I, this time we're going to call it xi. Now the I is in a subscript position. It's down and to the right. That's just a notation for the reader to let them know what type of position it is. Now let's state what Jill's initial position is in a symbolic form. So we want to use a number and a unit. So since she's 4 meters to the right of this doorway, notice that the x variable has units of meters. We're going to say it's 4 meters. And that is a fine answer. And we could just stop there and be done with the problem. However, I'm going to take it just one step farther. Now I'm going to make it clear to the reader that this quantity is a vector. How do you do that? There's a couple of ways that you can. One is you could make the letter bold. If you see a font that is bold, then that means that it's a vector. Another way we can do it is put an arrow over its head. And this makes it clear to the reader that we're talking about a vector, an initial position vector. Now, since we did that on the left, we have to make a modification on the right as well, because the number 4 is really just scalar. It's just a number. So how do you turn it into a vector? Well, we're going to attach a little symbol on the end here. You don't have to know everything about what it means just yet, but it is something that we'll use in the future. What it is actually a letter I with a hat. That is what's called a unit vector. And for now, all you need to know is that the I hat tells us that we're talking about the x dimension, as opposed to the y or z dimension. Later, we'll use j hat and k hat when we're talking about the y and z dimensions. All right, so that one's done now. Here's a new term. A change in position in physics is called a displacement. And the symbols delta x, delta being Greek letter, which stands for a change in a variable, delta x represents the displacement. So we want to draw a displacement vector, which points from where the object was initially to where it finally ends up. So Jill is going to start off here, and she's going to go to the dog. So we want to draw that change arrow. Okay. But we're going to give it the symbols delta x now. That's displacement. Now, what is Jill's change in position? We'll write delta x. And then, just like we had done before, we got to see how long the arrow is. That's the magnitude of the arrow. And it's going to be a length of 6. So that's what we want to put here, 6 meters. And that's fine. We could stop there and say we're done with the problem. But I'm going to go one step farther once again to put it into vector form. To do vector form, we can either make it bold or we put the arrow over its head. But mathematically, if you make that change on the left and turn it into a vector, then you have to turn the right side into a vector too. So how do you turn that into a vector? You add the I hat. That's how you do it. Now it's a vector. Now we want to draw a final position vector. And the tail of it has to be located at the 0 of the coordinate system. And we'll let the head of it point toward where the object lands up in the question. So Jill is going to walk from 4 meters to 10 meters. So let's draw that final arrow. And we'll give it the letters X, F. Now, what is Jill's final position? XF equals, use the length of it, 10 meters. And just like before, we'll make it clear that it's a vector by attaching the I hat. That brings us to an important physics equation for positions and displacements. The formula is xi plus delta x equals xf. In other words, an initial position plus a displacement takes us to the final position. Let's just confirm that this formula works for the above situation. Now it's up to you whether you want to write the quantities in vector form or not. We could just leave it with the arrowheads off, and in that case we would just leave the i's out when we add up the quantities. So the initial was 4 meters, the change in x was 6 meters, and it takes us to 10 meters. It works for this problem. However, it's worth noting that we could do it in vector form. And in that case, we do put the arrows over their heads. If we decide to go that route, then let's attach an I hat to every term. It still tells the same story.